I would like to share with you some information that I have discovered which would be actually of great use for us. It's a software called openboard.ch. It's a Swiss software that you can actually download for different platforms, and when you do that and you open it, basically it will look like that. You will get something like this, which is an interactive whiteboard. Well, it's black on my side, but you can actually choose different backgrounds, which is very useful, especially if we want to draw vectors or whatever. Let's keep it black. Well, obviously you can write with your mouse. You can actually make markers with changing colors or whatever you want. You can actually zoom in, zoom out. You can have a pointer. You can even move your whiteboard somewhere else. And one interesting feature, if I delete now, one interesting feature is that you can actually add pages. So if you add page, let's say this is page 1, and now you can add another page. You can see the pages here, so that's page 2 or 3, and then you can actually keep track of all your whiteboards. So if you are explaining, you can go back from one to another to your class. One of the interesting things also that you can add a text. Okay, so you can just say demo, and you can enlarge this one, make it bigger, and then have it on your whiteboard. So if you're actually explaining something to the class, you can just write things down. You can even draw lines, which is extremely useful, right? Great. One nice thing also is you can add movies, pictures, or whatever from the directory of the software. So for example, here you can add a movie while you are actually watching or explaining to the class, and remove that later. You can move to your desktop, so you can actually switch between desktop and whiteboard, and you can still use actually your pointer settings on your desktop. Okay, so if I go to my desktop, for instance, I can, for example, go for a presentation while I'm teaching to the class. I can go for presentation, make annotations on it, well, point on some features on it, and then whenever I need, I'll go back to my whiteboard, so I can switch between the two, which is extremely useful to my sense. One additional feature, you can actually podcast, which means that you can record that. So you can record it, and you have different, you can publish it to an intranet or to YouTube, or have different functionalities to do. Okay, so you record that, and everything is being recorded now while we're talking, and at the end, it goes saved on your desktop. Nice thing also, you can even, when you are on this whiteboard, so you are explaining it to students, well, you can go to the web. So you can still add, for example, here, I don't know, Lebanese university, if they don't know, for example, about this, you can just go to the web and check these things, or much easier, go to your desktop and then go to the web there. It's totally fine. Okay. One last point to say, this would be a great tool to use if any of you has one of these nice pads. Okay, now let's remove this. One of these nice pads, right? So I will demonstrate the, these nice writing pen, which means that if you use this, although it's not very, very easy at the beginning, but if you use that, well, you will be able actually with the whiteboard to explain your equations or whatever you want easily. Okay, well, now I turn that off, and yeah, I hope this is helpful.